Thank you very much for that introduction, Ava. Yes, my name's David. I'm Pro Vice-Chancellor at the Royal Agricultural University, and I'm very pleased to be here to celebrate the start of this collaboration and initiative. So I'm going to say a few words about the history of our institution, a few words about the collaboration that we're setting up between us, and then look forward to the future about what we need to do together. So yes, the RAU was established in 1845. It was actually brought about by a group of local farmers who saw the need to bring technological innovations to farming and to educate the younger people in those endeavours. And it had the support of very many important people. For example, the Victorian engineer Isambard Kingsley-Brunel, you may have heard of him. He was very institutional in establishing sort of a civil engineering infrastructure, and he saw the importance of technology to farming. And that mission is still as important today. How do we bring innovations to farming, food production, which is so important for rural communities? So we were fortunate in receiving a royal charter, and we still have the support of the royal family today. Our president, the King Charles, is very passionate about the university. He's very passionate, as I'm sure you're aware, about sustainable agriculture and the impact of the environment on it, and vice versa. So it is great to have his support. I'm sure he would very much support what we're endeavouring to do here today. The institution has had a global outlook right from the start. We've always had a long history of welcoming international visitors, and more recently we're very much engaged in transnational education, of which this is an example, and I'll talk a little bit about that in a minute. I'm pleased to have a little bit of a flavour of what our institution is about. So what about this collaboration? As I said, I think this is a great challenge, a great opportunity. We've got lots to do. The endeavour of working together on rural development is fundamentally important. We all have the challenge of food security. We certainly, I hope you understand, have a challenge about ensuring there is good adoption of both technology and nature-based solutions. And that includes innovation in policy as well. I think policy, for example, use of knowledge exchange and mechanisms like that is really important to this sector. But above all, I do think it is about valuing local knowledge, indigenous knowledge. I wrote down centuries of agricultural wisdom, and I think that's exactly the point. I think that agricultural wisdom is locally based, that farmers really understand their land and how they use it, and how different crops, different production systems, different livestock work on that. And I think the key for this, yes, we need technological approaches and nature-based approaches, but we do need to understand, respect and value that agricultural wisdom, which I think is a great phrase. But this is a global challenge. The COP28 last year was a very important milestone. That agreement internationally to focus on, that we all need to focus on, sustainable agriculture, resilient food systems and climate action. You can't consider any one of those three in isolation. They have to be thought about together. Agriculture, producing the right stuff, resilient food, making sure we consume the right products, but also having an eye on both the impact of climate change, but also the impact on climate of what we do. So that COP28 declaration, I think, is really fundamental and worth a reread several times, because there's lots of information in there. So I think together we can help address some of those issues, because I think we can, in this collaboration, make a real impact. And as part of our global networks, we can make a real impact. We're pleased to bring to this table a network of institutions that are working on this topic. For example, we have a very active transnational education program in China. were several thousand students based in China working on our degrees. We work in Uzbekistan, where we have established an international agricultural university because they also recognise the importance of food security. We're working in Ukraine. We're very pleased to work in Ukraine. We are, as well as doing education programs such as a Masters in Sustainable Agriculture and Food Security in Ukraine, we are pleased to be working them on research about how to reduce contamination of rural affected land. That is a very real issue, as I'm sure you're aware. And most recently, we've announced our working with Sharjah in the UAE, where we again have established a new university, University of Al Daid. Our Vice-Chancellor, Peter McCaffrey, is a trustee of that university, and the government there recognised the critical importance of sustainable agriculture and food security. So you join a group of very important large organisations that are endeavouring to tackle this issue. And lastly, I want to give you a bit of a sense about what our type of our education we try to advocate. And there are four things. We're very mindful of how our young people use the skills they develop in their setting. And there are four key things to that. First of all, promoting a professional approach to their work, which is actually a lot about the communication skills involved and how to work as a team to deliver the right goals. We're very much advocates of an innovative thinker, i.e. how you use business skills, commercial acumen to actually deliver the outputs that you need. I think Alok's mention of the net income of farmers is a really crucial issue that we need to apply an innovative thinking approach. Absolutely technically skilled. Technically skilled is really important because you've got to understand the basics of what agricultural production is, what those technical aspects of plant and animal production are, how to produce things in a safe way. And lastly, actually, and most importantly, is a sustainable mindset, i.e. is what you're doing good for the planet? Is it producing safe food, etc.? And is it adjusting to and responding to the climate action needs? So, and very important on that is about its adoption of technology, nature-based and policy innovations that are needed. So I'm very pleased to be here today to be able to celebrate the start of this initiative, and I'm very pleased that we have support of the people that Alok mentioned, because I think this is a big effort and it needs lots of input from lots of folks. So thank you for the very kind.